Hey, thanks for visiting Duckman Cycles VW Garage. I am your host, the Duckman. I'm having a little trouble putting a video together today because unfortunately too much is just working against me. I tried to put some brand new axles in the 1956 Volkswagen Beetle, also known as Eleanor, who unfortunately caved in due to Hurricane Ivan saltwater intrusion. I'm going to keep the story limited to that because a couple people lately have been complaining that they don't like my long story in the beginning, which really usually runs less than 60 seconds. You can always fast forward past it, but I mean, that's beside the point. They don't want to know about Eleanor, who unfortunately was submerged under seawater during a hurricane. She's actually a piece of history for the Northwest Florida area. But anyway, besides that, I'm trying to get some axles put in a car here, and I ended up with some problems. And you'll see that in the next video. This is actually going to be a completely separate video. But it turns out that the two axles that I bought aren't of the same condition. One looks like it's new, and the other one looks like it had been used at some point. And of course, there's my phone going off, which is the next story I need to talk about. This is involving Hurricane Michael and the restaurants that I do their IT work for. So I'm going to grab that phone real quick and let's find out what's going on, because that's probably really important. Alright, we're back, and first off, if you heard that stupid ringer, you know it's an iPhone. I hate iPhones with a passion. I'm not even going to get into that. I know you guys in the comments sure are, but yeah, I'm an Android guy because I like a phone that I can actually modify, I can actually do things with. And when it comes to an iPhone, they kind of lock you down from doing a lot of things that I want to do. So, yeah, no iPhones for me. But as I was saying, Hurricane Michael put a hell of a dampener on my work plans. And also for the company, you know, for corporate. Some of the restaurants they were just obliterated. And if the restaurants are actually survived, because some of them are complete steel construction, you know, the wind did not take them out, but their infrastructure is knocked out. They're having trouble getting power. They're having trouble getting gas. Some of them have trouble getting clean water. And the restaurants they can't open. They can't function. Some of them were lucky enough to come open, and most of them had no power for at least 2 days. And what that means is that the food that was inside the restaurant spoiled. So what they had to do is get in the cleaning crew to take everything out. Not just take everything out and throw it into a huge dumper truck, but they actually had to clean the facility wherever this food was at, because it spoiled, and you can't put fresh, clean food in that location. So the entire cleaning crew had to come through and clean these restaurants out. And I warned them, because they wanted me to go out days ago, you know, to go fix these restaurants. But if your computers aren't working, and there's nobody at the restaurant because the restaurant's not functional and has no power, then what's the point of me going out there to fix a computer that you know wasn't working before because I can't turn it on when I get there? And then they say, well, no, we have power now, and the computers are online, but 3 of them won't turn on. If 3 of them won't suddenly turn on, it's not the individual computers, which would be my job. It probably has something to do with the outlets. So if you don't have power coming out of the outlets, I'm not going to drive, 3 hours to Tallahassee and struggle to find fuel, and that's the big thing. All the fuel sells out whenever there's a hurricane. Everybody comes and they buy up all the gas. Even if a gas station does have fuel, a lot of these gas stations don't have power because the infrastructure's down, so they can't pump it. It's stuck in the tank in the ground. It ain't going anywhere. So it cost me about a tank of gas to get all the way out to Tallahassee, which is where I have to go. It's about a 3-hour drive, and it's roughly a tank of gas, a little bit less than a tank of gas, in a stupid little car that I was given to drive by this company. And when I get all the way out there, of course, I'm going to have to try to find gas. And here we have fuel. That's fine. And halfway out there, I might find fuel. That might be fine, but it's also I might not, because people are leaving the Tallahassee area to go find fuel, and some of them are driving 100 miles or more to fill up that tank of fuel to go back home. Something like my 350Z over there, see it around Eleanor right over there, it gets 550 miles on a tank full of gas. And some people say, how can you get so much? Well, I mean, it's a 20-gallon tank, and I get almost 30 miles to the gallon on the interstate. And that's pretty damn good. So when I take a road trip cross country, I get 550 miles on a tank full. If I did live in Tallahassee and I needed fuel, and I mean I had to have it, I don't see driving 100 miles one direction to go get it 100 miles back, losing 200 miles out of my tank full to have 350 miles left. I don't see that as such a bad idea, and that's probably what some of the people are doing. But gas in this large radius around Tallahassee, Panama City area is selling out. And towards my direction is Panama City. You have Tallahassee, you have Panama City, and then you have me. So the hurricane went through Panama City and then over Tallahassee. So it kind of took that hook, that northeastern approach, missing Pensacola. I mean, we hardly got anything at all. And if you haven't watched my other channel, you need to. People keep asking me, how'd you do in a hurricane? Well, I mean, I posted videos. Go look. It's on the other channel. Vivi the Duck VV always has my life experiences. The hurricane is none other than that. So with that said, I have been getting phone calls to be shipped to Tallahassee to go repair computers for restaurants that aren't even open yet, that are saying, the phone's still going off. Again, that's two different services I've been contacted on, and the phone was ringing minutes ago. But they got the bright idea, we're going to go ahead and send in some technicians from Atlanta. Perhaps to the north we're going to find fuel. Well, the Atlanta tech drove down, got about 80 miles or so outside of Tallahassee, and discovered that it's nothing but farmlands are devastated. There's equipment thrown all over the place from this hurricane. And there's very few gas stations anyway, because it's a rural area, and all of them are closed because infrastructure is down and or gas stations are completely obliterated. I'm in a situation where I can't get the work done. I'm in a situation where I'm reporting to a company that is reporting to another corporation that's pissed off because we can't get everything serviced. And I mean, what do you want? I mean, act of God. And how do you go beyond that? An act of God. You can't say that I can't do my job or that I'm refusing my job because of an act of God. I mean, it wasn't my decision to send a storm over these places. It wasn't my decision to take people's homes away from them. This is one of the things that I was offered too. If you can drive there and you can't find gas, we'll get you a hotel. Okay, great. And you think that, I'm going to sit in a hotel. Oh, yeah, we'll get you a hotel for the night and you can drive home the next day. So you think I'm going to get gas the next day? You're going to have me in a hotel for about a week or two. According to the people that I've talked to, the grid is down. Huge sections of the power grid is down. And they're expecting that there's a possibility that some places won't have power for a couple months. Not just a week or two. I mean, some of the places that are closer to the grid that can be fixed faster, it might be a couple weeks until they have power. Some places already have power. For some of the more distant areas and some of the cities as you get closer to the coast where they're further away from the main grid, we're looking at a possibility of months. So some of these restaurants may not open for a long time, and some of the ones that do have power that are expecting to be open soon, I did say yesterday, we're expecting a food truck to come in about 6 o'clock today, so when we get the power back on, we're going to go ahead and have the place cleaned out and restocked with food. I reminded them, if I can't get there because of fuel, what makes you think that your truck is going to get there with the food? 24 hours have passed, and guess what? The food truck didn't show last night, and the food truck still isn't there. So anyway, I'm in a situation where they want me to go some distance to go repair some computers, and apparently they sent in another tech from the Tampa area to go service the area. And I know him well, and he's a good technician, but as far as it's concerned, he was lucky enough to find some fuel about 100 miles to the east. And he's got a 300-mile radius, so he's actually able to get to where he needs to go, get the thing fixed, drive back to that same spot with 100 miles left on his tank, fill back up, and then continue on his way home. So lucky him. I'm not so lucky in this direction, unfortunately, because, as I said, the storm hit between here and Tallahassee, closer to here than to Tallahassee. And a lot of the places they're sold out of fuel. And some of the places even close to me are sold out of fuel. And you had gas lines here, too, just the same, which is kind of pathetic, because the storm really wasn't all that bad here in Pensacola. We actually did quite well. And again, if you haven't watched my YouTube channel, Vivi the Duck VV, you have not seen these storm updates. So if you're asking me how I'm doing, you missed the videos. I mean, I did upload videos on there, and I asked for you to subscribe to that channel. Please subscribe to that channel. It's the other things that I do. And when I get this car together, Eleanor, guess what's going to happen? Yeah, if you guess that I'm going to go ahead and build this car, and I'm going to drive it on Duckman Cycles at VW Garage, you're mistaken. That car is going to become a big part of my life. Here is where the technical work happens. Vivi the Duck VV is where I go ahead and I do things in my life, and this car is going to be part of my life. So anyways, today has been a really, really tough day to get a video together. Really tough day. So this is going to be a rant video. I mean, if you haven't already seen that, this is a rant video, and I thank all of you for watching. I really do. There's a lot of things I need to get off my chest, and I'm about to run out of sunlight. and I'm sweated through already, and I made no progress on anything today. Well, that's not true. That's not true. I did make progress on my car show. The Volkswagen car show that's coming up, the Rare Air Volkswagen show, our 22nd show, which is on October 20th. Despite having a hurricane that hit just to the east of here, we still have 65, I believe it is, pre-registrations for the show. And it's a Volkswagen show. It's not an all-car show. But 65 Volkswagens have prepaid and registered. Thankfully, it hasn't been a whole lot of people from the Panama City area because of their problems. You know, not that they had prepaid for the show and they can't make it. The Panama City people haven't actually signed up. But today is the last day to sign up. So if you're watching this video, it'll probably get uploaded around midnight, so the pre-registration is probably done with. By the way, if you talk to me, I'll still let you in there. But you gotta talk to me in the next few hours after this video gets uploaded, not like the next day or, you know, Tuesday. No. If you get with me, I'll bend the rules and I'll let you in the system. But, yeah, this is the car show that's coming up, and it's now, today is Saturday. It's effectively 7 days away from now, not even a full 7 days. And Eleanor has to make it to the show, and Eleanor is pretty far from being completed the way I want her to be. And I have to do as much work on this car as possible this week, and I've got now Sunday, which I may wind up in Tallahassee for. We're going to see what kind of mess that turns into. Monday, I don't know what's going to happen. Today's my day off, effectively, and because I have no technician, and I forgot to add that, my other technician, my backup technician that helps me on my days off, he lives in Panama City. He lost his home. Not only did he lose his home, but he lost his car. He managed to get his car running. It had some gas in it, but he's one of the most nicest, politically correct guys that I know. But for him to describe the kids that he saw steal his gas cans, the choice of words was just beyond anything I had heard him say. And I mean, I was trying not to laugh because it's coming from him. And I mean, he corrects me when I say something that's a little off key, you know, my microaggressions. You probably heard that. The kids today love to say things like that. If you say something the wrong way, and I mean, it's something people always say, but apparently it's a microaggression if you use the wrong term. For him to use the words that he did, the offensive words, I know that he's definitely under stress right now, and I feel really, really bad for him. I mean, as I said, he lost his home, he lost his car, he discovered his car is going to be totaled, he's going to be paid for it, and I guess in the end, that's not so bad that he does have insurance for it. But his apartment it's missing walls. It's missing walls. He took his dog home, back to the apartment where he was, and he said the dog ran through the house and up onto the sofa, and then looked behind him and realized there's no wall and there's a tree in the building, and the dog is acting like he's home, but he's starting to realize that, you know, some stuff is different. You know, did we get some new furniture here? You know, and apparently he lost it right after that, and I feel so bad for the guy, really I do, and I've known him for years. You know, he's not just a technician, just some guy I know from work. I actually made sure that he got hired about a year ago when I needed some help. And he's been an asset to me, and he really made a difference in what I do and getting me more free time, because I had no freedom at all about a year ago. And that's one of the reasons why this car didn't see any progress last winter. It's because I was working all the damn time. I wasn't ever allowed to do anything. I was always so damn busy driving all the way out to Tallahassee or Georgia and coming back home only to be called right back out and do it again. And Georgia back and forth is an 8-hour trip plus work time. And to do that twice in a row in one day, you know, that's 16 hours just of driving. And that's too much. That's too much. And we hired somebody out in Panama City that's a lot closer to that area to service those restaurants. And as I said, he's been great. But unfortunately, the storm came through and it devastated the area. And it knocked him out of commission. And it has greatly affected me, even though I wasn't in the storm path. Now, I'm not saying, oh, woe is me. I mean, it could have been worse. I could have lost my house. I could have lost Eleanor. I could have lost Skeeter. And that, I probably shouldn't have even touched that. That's going to mess me up. Ooh, for me to lose that little girl over something like that. I mean, I would trade Eleanor to keep Skeeter around. Skeeter is 16 and a half years. She's as close as I've got to a child. I mean, I don't have a kid. I never got married, but Skeeter is my little girl, and after 16 and a half years, that's kind of a big deal. I'm going to go ahead and take a break for a moment. Otherwise, I'm going to show an emotional moment, and I don't want to get too far into it, so I have to take a rest and shift my mind, because of something like that happening would have been the hardest thing of my life. So we're going to take a break. Thanks for watching. All right, we're back, and I had to go get my little girl. The thought of losing her was just incredible. That was hard just to think about it even. And I know everything is temporary in your life. Everything is temporary. And if you ever had an animal at all, it's not likely to outlive you unless you bought a parrot or, a turtle. And you're later in life especially, they're going to outlive you someday. But this one, I know this little bird's time is limited, and at 16 and a half years, every day that goes by, I count it as another day that I've got with her. Rather than the opposite, where I was counting the days of how soon it was going to be until I was going to lose her. Back when she was about 7, and people told me they live 7 to 10 years, I thought she was going to go, but at 16 and a half, she's still with us now. And yes, her little head is crooked. I mean, that's just the way she's always been. She hatched out of the egg that way. She's not unhealthy. There's nothing wrong with her. I mean, she doesn't have that stargazing condition that some people say, but if I actually feel her head and I feel her neck, I can feel her bones are misshapen. And looking at her closely, this one eye is actually kind of on top of her head, and the other one's on the side. So she was born with some kind of odd deformity, but there was no limit in her personality. I mean, she is just a sweetheart, and I love her to death. So I really wish I could get a technical video out today, but unfortunately it looks like it's just not going to work out that way. But I hope this one is still a good one. I hope you guys do enjoy. And because I'm releasing this video, I'm going to release a second video today too. I'm going to put out a video that shows some of my family photos involving Volkswagens and some of the other things that in my past have... I'm going to show some family photos with... Fucking phone. I'm going to show some family photos with Volkswagens in them. And some of what may have influenced me as to always wanting a Volkswagen or always loving Volkswagens, or maybe why I always thought they were special. But, oh, you're a good little girl. You sure are crabby while I'm holding you. Oh, I know why. She's molting and she's getting some new feathers in. And when this happens, I don't know if you can see them, but you see those little tips in here? They have like blood in them, and there's nerves in them, and they're... Whoa, you almost fell down, chicken bird. And they're extremely sensitive. And see, she doesn't even like me touching them. Yeah, I know, I'm not hurting you, but yeah, they're not comfortable to touch. So anyway, during this time she's like this, she gets real crabby for about a month and a half or so. And she's almost at the end of it right now, where her feathers are growing in pretty well. And they're growing in pretty fast, too. But, yeah, okay. I'll tuck them back in the way they're supposed to be. There you go. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So anyways, you guys, all of you that are watching, like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to pluck that little dingle belly down there. We're going to try to get some updates on Eleanor tomorrow. And, I mean, it's crunch time. I got about 5 days... 5 days of effective work. It'll be Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Friday, I'm going to try not to do anything on this car, because Friday it's like, put the tow bar on and get the car ready to roll. I mean, there's no reason I want to get any more involved than that. I was talking to A-Bomb79 today, and he said there's a good possibility my parts might be done today also for my front brakes, so if that happens, that might be my next video. Or if I wind up getting the correct axles for the backside of the car here, that might be my next video. We'll see what happens with that stuff. There, of course, will be a video on that that shows the drama involved in that, too. And just, oh my God. I want to do more work on the body. I'd love to get the body of Eleanor in a coat of primer. I'd like to get some of the fill work done and some of the sanding done. And I don't know if that's going to happen before the show. I think I'm going to be working on a lot more mechanical and dealing with the stress of trying to find parts that fit in the situation with stuff that just... not as expected, or not delivered as asked for, or not delivered when I asked for it. So we'll see what's going to happen with that. I mean, I don't know what else to say or do. I mean, daylight's limited right now. I got about another hour or 30 minutes of work time available to me, and I might break out. Actually, the welder's already out. Maybe I can go have a look at the car, and maybe I can actually zap it or tack it in a couple places, and that might certainly be worth jumping on today. We'll see what I can do with that, but I mean, it's just been such a busy day, such a busy day. So anyways, thanks for watching, you guys. I'm going to hit the welder, and if it turns out I can actually get a welding video in today, I'm going to put 3 videos up in one night for you. 3 videos. This video, a video of my family photos, and a video of me welding on Eleanor. Let's see what I can do. See how much we can actually get done in such a short period of time. What are you doing, Skeeter? You by Daddy? Oh, everybody loves you. Skeeter the Duck on YouTube, by the way, and also Skeeter the Duck on Facebook. You too can be her friend. You can like her page, and she's always getting into something. We need to post more videos with you in it, don't we? Yes, we do. We used to do a lot of videos with you, but not so much anymore. No, we don't travel a whole lot anymore. But when we get your Volkswagen together, yeah, it's your Volkswagen. When we get your Volkswagen, oh, you're looking. You see that car, don't you? You see that car. You know we're outside. When we get her car together, we're probably going to do a lot more traveling. I'm hoping to travel around the country, actually, with this car, and I think it's going to be a fun adventure. Thanks very much for watching. I really appreciate it, and we'll see you again next time. Thank you. Boom.